What's the scariest thing your school ever announced over the intercom? I was a sophomore at Brookfield. When our intercom was so old, it would shriek this high-pitched whine before every announcement, the kind that made the whole class wince at once. Fourth period, Mr. Dalton's history class, and we were half asleep copying notes off the projector when that whine cut through. But it didn't stop after a second, like it normally did. It just held there, screaming. And then a voice came on. Attention, all classrooms. It was Principal Reyes. Except he didn't sound like himself. Not the bored monotone he used for fire drills. He sounded like someone reading words off a card that another person had handed him. All teachers are to lock their doors immediately and keep students seated. This is not a drill. I want to be clear. This is not a drill. The whole room went still. Even Devin, who hadn't been fully awake before noon a single day that year, sat straight up. Mr. Dalton crossed the room and locked the door, and I noticed his hand wasn't steady on the handle. I'd had him a full semester and never once seen the guy rattled. Is someone in the building? Priya whispered from the desk beside me. My stomach went cold, because that was the exact thought I'd had, and didn't want to say out loud. The intercom whined again. Teachers, check the email I just sent. Do not read it aloud. Mr. Dalton went to his laptop, and I watched his face change as he read, the color just draining out of it. He looked up and scanned the room slowly, desk by desk, like he was counting us. Then he did it again. Phones away, he said quietly, which was weird, because nobody had a phone out. I checked mine under the desk anyway. No bars, nothing. I leaned over to Devin, and he showed me his same thing. Dead. Outside the window, we heard the first siren, then another, then a lot of them. And under that, the sound of footsteps moving fast down the hallway. Not running exactly. Searching. The intercom came on a third time, and it was Vice Principal Okafor now, and her voice was shaking worse than Reyes. Teachers, take attendance against your printed roster. If there is a student in your room who is not on that list, do not speak to them. Press the call button and wait. The class went dead silent. Mystery. Dalton picked up his roster with both hands. He read it once, looking up between each name. When he got to the bottom, he started over from the top, slower, and his eyes kept stopping on the same desk. 2 rows over. Caleb's desk. And that's when it hit me that I had no idea what Caleb's last name even was. He'd transferred in around October, sat at our lunch table every day since, knew all our names, helped me with chemistry twice. I'd just never thought about it. Mr. E. Dalton's hand drifted toward the call button on the wall. Caleb was watching him do it, totally calm. Not scared like the rest of us, just calm. The way you're calm when you already know how something is going to end. The intercom crackled one more time. The individual we are looking for is wearing a gray jacket. Caleb was wearing a gray jacket. He stood up before Mr. Dalton reached the button, said excuse me real polite, and walked toward the door like he was just headed to the bathroom. Mr. Dalton said sit down, Caleb, and Caleb only looked at him, smiled a little, and unlocked the door from the inside. Then he was gone into the hallway full of footsteps. We sat in that locked room for 5 hours. No bathroom, no signal. Just everyone whispering theories once the towers came back. Somebody said it was a bomb. Somebody said a kidnapping. Mr. Dalton wouldn't say a word, just kept staring at that empty desk. They let us out at dinner time. My mom grabbed me in the parking lot so hard it hurt. The story we got the next day didn't add up. They said it was a misunderstanding. A former student who shouldn't have been on campus. Nothing to worry about. Back to normal Monday. But Caleb never came back. His name was never in any system. No transfer record, no enrollment, no parents anyone could find, nothing. He'd walked in one morning in October and sat down, and for 4 months not one adult in that building had ever checked. 2 weeks later, a detective came to my house. My house. The address I'd mentioned to Caleb exactly once, at lunch, when he asked which bus I rode. He sat at our kitchen table and asked if I understood that the boy I'd been eating lunch with all year was a 38-year-old man, and that ours was the 4th school he'd done it at.